What's up, guys? I'm probably not gonna go to the roof or film a video outside in a while because it's getting really chilly, and it gets dark now easily. I think it's like what time is it? It's 7:45. It's already dark outside, which is crazy. Winter is already here and all that stuff. So um, I'm gonna be honest. I go through periods in my life, not actual periods, but moments in my life where I feel like I'm at the top. I feel like I'm like nothing could stop me. That I could try um, get through my goals without with minimal setbacks, and and that I'm like the master of my own world, and I'm so confident and I'm so cocky and I'm all these things. But then I also go through moments where it all just comes crashing down and I feel inadequate. And I think right now I'm going through one of those moments where, yeah, I just feel inadequate, lazy, like what I'm doing really isn't enough. And so I'm just, uh, being low key and I'm just, naturally I'm just quiet. I don't really talk much unless, there's something good to say or unless someone wants to start a conversation with me. Yeah, I start talking at that point. And so I've always wondered, where do these feelings of inadequacy come from? Um, as far back as I remember in school, um, like I would do good at school and stuff. And, I felt kind of smart. I was a smart kid. And, but then after a while, things just get repetitive and monotonous, and you stop caring and you start slacking off. And so that's basically been me my whole life. Like if I didn't have a job, but I had lots of money, I think I'd just be traveling. Um, and if I was younger, like last year, I traveled a little bit. And I also did things that I wasted my money on recklessly, and I should have not done those things. I should have saved my money. I should have at least spent it on something nice. I should have spent it with my parents, but and my family and all that stuff. But for some reason, I don't really. It didn't occur to me to think about them while I was doing said things. But now as I gotten older, I'm like, man, I'm just comfortable doing less. Like uh, when I train, when I used to train, those feelings of inadequacy would just go away. Like I was so focused on becoming better, a better martial artist, a better fighter, and all that stuff. But that feeling has gone away. I think I'm just fed up with this with like I've always stayed in one place. Like me and my family, we never really moved from state to state. We always lived in the same state. And once in a while we go on vacation, but then we come back to the same old. And I think I'm just getting tired of the environment that I'm in. Like I just want to move away and live by myself. I still train and all that stuff, but also live in a place where it's natural. Like the city is intertwined with nature and all that stuff. And you can't really say that about certain cities. Like Chicago. I think Chicago is all urban and stuff. There's no like Central Park or whatever. So yeah, martial arts has been my go-to thing. I don't know. I feel like I need to try something new. I wish I was like bodybuilding and all that stuff, but I'm just so fucking lazy. And one of the things that gets to me is I work a 9 to 5, and I'm sitting on my ass all day, and that's just bad. That's just terrible. And so I think in my head, I'm sitting on my ass most of the day, me moving around and moving weights and pushing stuff around um isn't really gonna do much, because majority of my time I'm just sitting on my ass and all that stuff. But I'm starting to realize, even if no matter what I do, even if it isn't enough, I should still do it. Uh, I read in a book somewhere that um, people, like, it's easy to feel inadequate when you have nothing going on, or when you have one thing going on. Let's say it's your job, a 9 to 5, and all that stuff. The feeling of inadequacy tends to go away if you do something outside the job. Let's say you want to be like you want to fish as a hobby because you're already working, and you happen to live in a city where there's a lot of water, bodies of water, and you can actually go get a boat, get a license, and start fishing and all that stuff. And you start fishing, those feelings of inadequacy go away because you're so focused on fishing. It's brand new to you. But some people say fishing is boring, but if it's your thing, then you know you should you should do it. Keep doing what you're doing, and um and you don't let anything stop you. These are in the book. These things were called the surrogate activities, and yeah, for me, my activity is martial arts. Like, at this point, it's the only thing I know. I don't want to get into other hobbies. I certainly don't want to dance or whatever. I don't want to learn how to dance. Um, rocks rock climbing sounds good, but I think there's a barrier to entry with that. I haven't tried it myself, but um, yeah, there are no rock climbing places near me. I would have to travel out into the city and get a hold of that. And I want something simple, something that I could do easily. I haven't really been doing that because, like I said, my foot has been fucked, and sometimes after the day after I run or do a physical activity, it starts to hurt. So I need to give it a couple days rest. For most people, the surrogate activity that's popular, I think, is going to the gym. Yeah, people just go to the gym. Sometimes they don't even work out; they just go to the gym as a place. But that's kind of a bad way of using it. You should get a workout in, uh, use the treadmills, even though that it really isn't going to do much. Um, Combine strength training, the treadmill use, and all that stuff, depending on what your goals are and on where you're at. What sucks though is that those activities are dependent on your body. Let's say you get hurt, you know, uh, you get hurt because you use excessive weights and all that stuff. And let's say you like pop a hamstring or some shit, or a bicep. That means you're out for a really long time until you recover. What do you do at that point? Um, One thing I would say is that when I got hurt, I felt back into bad habits of just watching television, being on my phone all day, and yeah, not doing much after work. Even when I didn't work, I was just on my phone. I could have picked up a book, but reading to me is just it's kind of like, as much as I want to do it, I just procrastinate on reading and all that stuff. They say reading a book a day is productive, but if something doesn't get you money, it's just, I hate saying it, I hate thinking about it, but if something's not getting you money, then and you're dirt poor, you should focus on that before doing anything. But I'm obviously not gonna do that. I got a life to live and all that stuff. And as I mentioned in the example before, let's say um, fishing is your thing, but then there's a like a hole in the boat that you use to fish, and then it just sinks, and there you have no boat anymore, or your rod breaks or whatever the heck. Um, you start feeling inadequate again, and it's this thing that makes you feel like you're enough. It's the external that makes you feel like you're enough. It's all these hobbies that you do and all that stuff. Without them, like, you would just, you'd probably go mad. You'd probably start to lose it a little bit. But I really don't want to think too deep about it. I'm tired of being pessimistic. I'm tired of having like a negative outlook on the world and all that stuff. And yeah, like I'm saying, I have high points and low points in my life, and now I think I'm just cruising. I'm not really at a low point, but I'm somewhere in between. Like, I'm at a plateau, and yeah, I'm just getting by. Getting by, I could definitely put my 20s to better use, but I just don't know how. So, yeah, I'll end things here. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it. And see you in the next one.